everybody, I'm here at the Natural Birth House in the Bayou Room, just bringing you some information about COVID and out of hospital delivery. There's been a lot of questions about people trying to switch from their provider just because they're not willing to compromise on the masks and the support team and the rapid testing, things like that. So I wanted to bring some clarity to what you would expect with an out-of-hospital birth. So your two options for out-of-hospital birth is at the Natural Birth House here or at home birth with Ashley or I. So Ashley's the staff midwife for the Natural Birth House and I mostly do home births. We are taking COVID seriously, but our practice is not the same as an OB or a hospital, obviously, in that we have extremely less patients and clients as an OB would. So your appointment time is your appointment. So there's no waiting room. You come straight in, you're the only one here. And same for like a delivery at the birth centers per se. You're going to be the only one here. You have one midwife. You're not having shift change. The midwife isn't taking care of several other patients. It's just you. So the risk of exposure is just significantly less. And then obviously for home birth, same situation. You're in your house. Obviously the exposure is less, and you have one midwife, an assistant that comes like during pushing, and the midwife and I will both be wearing, Ashley and I and the assistants will be wearing masks, but you are not required. The laboring mother is never required to wear a mask, whether that be in the appointment or in labor. We are doing temperature checks for everybody else that's on your birth team there. We're not limiting the amount of people you can have at your birth. As long as everybody is healthy, then we're happy to have them. So I hope that can bring you some peace of mind for an out-of-hospital delivery if you have a lot of concerns due to the COVID policies in your hospital. So who is a good candidate for out-of-hospital delivery? It's going to be a low-risk, healthy mom and baby. Your OB would already have deemed you low risk, and you would know it. You would know if you were considered high risk. VBACs and twins are not allowed out of hospital, but pretty much any other situation is more than welcome out of hospital. And we can discuss more with you about that individually as questions come up, and can better get an idea. Home birth is a good idea for you. So not just is low risk a important feature in out of hospital delivery. Don't just make the decision to switch to an out-of-hospital birth just because you don't like the way things are going in the hospital. I believe that out-of-hospital delivery, you still have to have a trust in natural birth and that birth works and that this is a normal process in a woman's life and that generally things unfold very safely whenever you're hands-off and not intervening with the process. So don't just make it out of fear. I'm trying to really talk to people about that you still have to feel safe out of the hospital, because delivering where you feel safe is going to be essential, regardless of what the paper says. So about midwifery care, if you don't know much about it, is we give personalized care. So an hour-long prenatal visit. So we get to know you and your family and your thoughts and your feelings around birth and work through fears and all of these things, hopefully before the birth comes, so that when you're in labor, we've talked about this thing that comes up. We've talked about what to expect, for the most part, and especially for us, we're listening to the baby every 30 minutes in early labor, and then once you're pushing, we're listening every 15 minutes. Listening to the heart tones is how we can tell how the baby's doing. That's how the baby talks to us. And then obviously we're monitoring mom's vitals as well to make sure she's coping through labor well, just as well as the baby. Midwives, we don't wait till there is an emergency to do something about it. If the mom or the baby are telling us that they're not safe to stay at home anymore, then we make a plan to transfer well in advance, not whenever it's getting too late. So we offer water birth. I was supposed to be at the birth fair today, but Ashley and I have decided to not go, simply due to only being only two midwives on the North Shore. We don't want to expose ourselves to anything extra. So this seemed like the best way to get the information out so everybody can have a little bit of what to expect for out of hospital birth, but then, you have our phone number. We would love to meet people individually that are truly interested in this sort of birth. So please reach out. You can message me directly on my page, Midwife Grace, or same for Ashley, Slidell Midwife.